Dear students, good evening all of you. I am Dr. Ganesan, Head Department of Economics, Ayanadar Janagimal College, Savagasi. So today we are going to discuss about methods of studying correlation. In the previous video lecture, we have discussed about what do you mean by correlation and what are the types of correlation. But today, in this video lecture, we are going to discuss about what are the methods involved in studying correlation. So friends, before enter into the topic methods of studying correlation, first we recall the meaning of correlation. So here correlation explains the degree of relationship between two or more than two variables. A correlation explains only the degree of relationship. Whether the given two or more than two variables are closely related or the correlation between the values are less. So that only we will study under correlation. Nothing more than that. So correlation explains whether the given variables are positively related or negatively related, or the given variables are highly correlated or moderately correlated or low degree of correlation. This only explains correlation. Here you can take into account of the examples, price and demand. There is an inverse relationship between price and demand. So inverse in the sense, if one variable is increasing, the other variable is decreasing and vice versa. So here you take into account of price and demand. When price increases, demand decreases, and when price decreases, demand increases. So here the variables are moving in the opposite direction. So we are telling there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. When you take into account of price and supply, here price and supply are positively related with each other. That means when price increases, supply also increases and vice versa. And if you take into account of income and expenditure, here also there is a positive correlation between income and expenditure. That means whenever our income increases, our expenditure also increases and vice versa. So this is about the meaning of correlation. Dear students and friends, you can remember and recall the meaning of correlation. Now we will enter into the topic methods of studying correlation. Here in your plus 2 book, there are 4 methods of studying correlation is given. Number 1, scatter diagram method, and number 2, graphic method, and number 3, Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, and number 4, method of least square. But the method of least square is not explained in our topic. That means it's not necessary for you. So now we will discuss only about the first 3 types or methods, that is scatter diagram method, graphic method, and Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Here regarding the Carl Pearson coefficient of correlation, I have explained only the formula which was given by Carl Pearson to find out the value of R in this video lecture, and the sum will be discussed in another video lecture. Okay. So first you take into account of the scatter diagram method. Here it is a simplest method. So here what we are doing means we are studying the relationship between the variables diagrammatically. And the scatter diagram method, we study the relationship between the variables diagrammatically. So here because of that only we are telling it is the simplest method of studying the relationship between the given two variables. So here what we have to do means in the x-axis we have to take in the x variable and we take the y variable on the y-axis. So here we are having both x and y variables. That means we are having pair of variables. So you take a pair of variables, that is the first pair. What is the value of x in x and what is the first value in y? That should be taken and we make a point in the graph sheet. In this way, how many pairs of values are given in the question or in the sum, that will be plotted with the help of your dots, and after plotting the dots, we have to connect all the dots. So now what is the structure of the line we are getting? According to that, we can explain the relationship between the variables. Student, you understand? So here what we have to do means we have to plot the points in the form of dots on the graph sheet. For that we have to take the x variables on the x-axis and y variables on the y-axis. And now we have to plot the points and connect the points. What is the shape of the curve or the line we are getting? According to that we explain how far the given variables are related with each other. So here first you take perfectly positive correlation. I will explain what do you mean by perfectly positive correlation, what do you mean by perfectly negative correlation and other thing. That I have explained the same video under Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, even though now I will tell something about the things. So here perfectly positive correlation means when you are calculating the R value should be equal to +1. When you are getting the R value is +1, that is perfectly positive correlation. When the R value is -1, exactly -1, that is perfectly negative correlation. So how we can explain perfectly positive correlation or perfectly negative correlation or low degree, high degree or no correlation with the help of diagram means, after plotting the points in the form of dots, now we are joining all the dots. Suppose if we get a curve or a line which is straight line passes from the lower left hand corner to the upper right hand corner. That means here there is a positive correlation, and if it is a straight line, so here the R value is equal to 1. So we are telling the correlation between the variable x and y are perfectly positive. Suppose on the other hand, if you are getting a straight line, it passes from the top left hand corner to the lower right hand corner. That means it will be in a downward direction. If a curve or a line is on the upward direction, that explains a positive relationship between the given variables. If the line is downward sloping, it means there is an inverse relationship between the x and y variables. So here because of straight line, the R value is equal to -1 and the line is downward sloping from the top left hand corner to the lower right hand corner. So the correlation between the variables is a negative, that is perfectly negative correlation. And now we are plotting the points. We are not getting a straight line, but instead of that, the plotted points are very closely comes. And that too from the lower left hand corner to the top right hand corner, and the values are very close to each other. At that time, we are telling the given variables are highly correlated. That too, the given variables are having positive relationship and high degree of correlation. And on the other hand, if the plotted points are very close and it starts from the top left hand corner to the lower right hand corner, here we are telling high degree of negative correlation between the variables. And on the other hand, suppose the plotted points are somewhat deviated from the given points, somewhat deviated, and if it is start from the lower left hand corner to the top right hand corner. Here we are telling low degree of positive correlation, and with the plotted points are somewhat deviated, and it starts from the top left hand corner to the lower right hand corner. Here we are telling the correlation between the variables are low degree, that to negative correlation, right? If it's a straight line and if it is an upward direction, positive correlation, straight line the downward direction, perfectly negative correlation, and high degree means the plotted points are closely related, and low degree means the plotted points are look like somewhat deviated from the other points. Suppose if we are not getting these type of curves or line, if you are getting the points in a cluster manner, in a cluster in the sense either you will get an U shape or you get a round corner and other things, right? So at that time what we are telling is there is no relationship between the given two variables. Here the R value is equal to 0. Here no correlation, it is otherwise called nonsense correlation or spurious correlation. So this is the way we study the relationship between variables with the help of diagram. That diagrammatic study of correlation is called scatter diagram method. Scatter diagram. So here what are the advantages of scatter diagram and what are the disadvantages of scatter diagram? First we will discuss about the merits or advantages of scatter diagram. I have already explained, it is simple. It's a simple method to study the relationship between variables. And it is a non-mathematical method. No need to apply a mathematical formula to calculate the relationship between the variables. Simply we are plotting the points on the graph sheet and we join the points, and what is the nature of line or curve we are getting, according to that we explain perfectly positive, perfectly negative, high degree of positive, high degree of negative, low degree of positive, low degree of negative, or no correlation. So here it is simple to understand the relationship between variables, and at the same time it's a non-mathematical method of studying the relationship between variables. The second merit is it's not influenced by the extreme items. Here the extreme items means very smaller value or a very bigger value. It will not make any influence. Here we can easily study the relationship between the variables. And the third advantage is it is the first step in studying the relationship between variables. After that only we are applying graphical method or we are applying the mathematical formula given by Carl Pearson or Spearman to study the relationship between the variables. Then the fourth one, here on seeing the graph or on seeing the diagram and the nature of curve, even the layman can understand what is the relationship between the given variables. So these are the points you take it for the advantages of scatter diagram. Now you take into account of the disadvantages or demerits of scatter diagram. Number one, it cannot establish the exact degree of relationship. Simply we can understand somewhat of some sort of relationship is there, but we can't understand exactly what is the relationship between the given variables. If we want to understand the exact relationship between the variables, we can apply the formula, that is we can study the relationship mathematically. But here we are not studying the correlation with the help of mathematical formula, so here it cannot establish the exact degree of relationship. Then the second one, need some knowledge to draw the diagram. Even though we are studying the relationship on the basis of scatter diagram or the diagrammatic method, we have some knowledge on drawing the diagram. So these are the points to take it for the merits and demerits of scatter diagram. Students, are you clear about the scatter diagram? Okay. Now the second method of studying the relationship between the variables is graphic method. So here And a graphic method, what we have to do means, we have to plot the x variable separately and draw the curve, and at the same time we have to plot the y variable separately and we have to draw the curve. That means here we get two curves. In a scatter diagram, we are plotting a pair of values, we will get only one curve. But here what we have to do means, we have to plot x values separately and we join all the points of x values and we will get a curve. And at the same time, we have to plot the points for y variable and connect all the points of y variable, you will get a separate curve for y variables. Now you can understand what is the nature of the curve for x variable and the curve for y variable. According to that, we can study the relationship between the variables and the graphic method. So individual values of two variables are plotted separately on the graph sheet. Join all the plotted points and draw the curve. Both the curves move in the same direction, the correlation is said to be positive. Right? So we are having two curves, one is for x variable and another one is for y variable. Now you can compare and you can relate whether both the curves are move in the same direction. If it is like that, the correlation is said to be positive. And on the other hand, if one curve is on the upward direction and the other curve is on the downward direction, it means there is an opposite relationship between the given variables or the negative relationship between the given variables. So both the variables move in the same direction, the correlation is said to be positive, and the curves are moving in the opposite direction, the correlation is said to be negative. So this is about graphic method of studying correlation. And the third method is a mathematical method given by Carl Pearson. So it is famously called as Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Here the Pearson's coefficient of correlation is denoted by the symbol R. The alphabet letter R is used to denote Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So here I am not explaining about the mathematical method. We are not discussing about any sum and other thing. That will be discussed separately in a separate video lecture. But when we are getting a value of R, how we can interpret the value of R, that I will explain here. Here we are applying the formula given by Carl Pearson and we are studying the relationship between the variables. Here the R value is always lies between plus or minus 1. When whatever may be the sum you take and whatever be the method you can apply, right? The R value should be lies between minus 1 and plus 1. If you are getting a value greater than minus 1 and plus 1, definitely you have done some mistake in your calculation. You can recorrect a calculation and other things. Suppose if your R value is equal to 20.5, that means the answer is wrong. Here you have done some mistake in your calculation, so you can go through the calculation and other things. So the R value always lies between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay. How you can interpret the value? Suppose if the R value is plus 1, it means perfectly positive correlation. The given values are having perfectly positive correlation. Suppose if the R value is minus 1, it explains perfectly negative correlation between the variables. Right? If it is plus 1, perfectly positive correlation. If the R is minus 1, perfectly negative correlation. Then if R equal to 0, that means no correlation. The given variables are not at all correlated with each other. The no correlation is otherwise called nonsense correlation or spurious correlation. Suppose if you are getting a value which is not equal to plus 1, not equal to minus 1, and not equal to 0. You are getting the value in between minus 1 and plus 1. That means how you interpret the value. If you are getting the value in positive, that is positive correlation. If you are getting the value in negative, that is negative correlation. But here, what is the value you are getting? According to that, you can interpret the values. Suppose if your R value is greater than 0.7 and less than 1, right? That means high degree of correlation. Are you clear? If your R value is greater than 0.7 and less than 1, it means the given two variables are having high degree of correlation, or the given two variables are highly correlated. If R is between 0.5 and 0.7, so it means there is moderate degree of correlation between the given variables. If the R value is less than 0.5, we can interpret it as low degree of correlation, low degree of correlation. If the values are in positive, suppose you are getting answer R equal to 0.9 plus 0.9. That means it comes under 0.9 and below 1. So there is high degree of positive correlation. Suppose you are getting a value minus 0.6. So here moderate degree of negative correlation. In this manner you can interpret the values, right? Once again I can tell the values. If R equal to plus 1, perfectly positive correlation between the variables. If R equal to minus 1, perfectly negative correlation. If R equal to 0, not at all correlated. If R is greater than 0.7 and less than 1, and if it is positive, that is high degree of positive correlation. If it is negative, high degree of negative correlation. If R is between 0.5 and 0.7, moderate degree of correlation, and if R is less than 0.5, low degree of correlation. So here Carl Pearson has given three formulas, that is formulae, to analyze the relationship between the variables mathematically. The first method is direct method. The second method, actual mean method, and the third method, assumed mean method. Now here I will explain the formula given by Carl Pearson one by one. First you take direct method. Here the formula is R equal to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y, the whole divided by under root of n sigma x square minus sigma x the whole power 2 into under root of n sigma y square minus sigma y the whole power 2. So here simply what we have to do means, if a sum is given, you have to calculate sigma x value, sigma y value. You can square the x values and take the total sigma x square. You square the value of y and you can take the total sigma y square, and you can take the product of x and y and take the total sigma xy. And now you can apply n equal to n is nothing but number of pairs of variables are given. Now the second method, the formula for the second method, that is actual mean method. So when we can use the actual mean method means you are calculating the x bar and y bar value, that is the average value for x variable and y variable. If both the variables are not in, so both the average value is not in fraction. If the x bar and y bar values are in whole number, at that time only you can apply actual mean method. Here the formula is very simple. So here R equal to sigma small xy divided by under root of sigma small x square into sigma small y square. So how we can estimate the value of small x is nothing but x minus x bar, and small y is nothing but y minus y bar, y minus y bar. Then the third method, assumed mean method. So we are estimating the average value of x and y series. Either the average of x values or x variables or y variables or both are in fraction. At that time we can't use, or it is very difficult for us to apply actual mean method. So at that time what we have to do means we can use assumed mean method. So here the formula to calculate assumed mean method is R equal to n sigma dx dy minus sigma dx into sigma dy, the whole divided by under root of n sigma dx square minus sigma dx the whole power 2 into under root of n sigma dy square minus sigma dy the whole power 2. So this is the formula for calculating assumed mean method. Dear student friends, you can go through the video and you can understand. I think you can clearly understand what are the methods and how we can study the correlation between the variables in each and every method in an easy way. Thank you, friends. See the video, get benefit out of it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, friends.